Rahim. As a believer, what do you want from Allah? What will you say? As a believer, what do you want from Allah? Rida? Rida, you're saying? How do I translate Rida? Acceptance, the pleasure of Allah. As a believer, what do you ask from Allah? Acceptance. You copy him. As a believer, what do you ask from Allah? What do you want from Him? Speak honestly. Because that word of rida, that word of acceptance, it is a very, very dangerous and it is a very high price that you have to pay for that. Isn't it? For Allah to accept you, you have to accept Allah. Now say, did you accept? When was the last time you complained? When was the last time that you didn't like something, anything? Maybe today. Correct? Maybe somebody came to you and say some nasty things to you, and you feel upset. But Allah is allowing that to happen, isn't it? Correct? Not even a leaf falls from the trees without Allah's knowledge, permission to happen. So what does that mean now? What we want from Allah is Allah's acceptance. Acceptance of what? For Allah to be happy with what? We're asking for Allah to be happy with us. With what? What are we doing? Comes back to us again. So as a believer, what are you going to ask from Allah? Mercy for who? For yourself? You're being selfish. It's you again. So as a believer, what are you going to ask from Allah? What do you say? Say. Say. Allah is giving you strength every day, isn't He? Allah is giving strength to this world. Allah is giving mercy to this world. If there's no mercy in this world, we cannot even breathe the air. Don't you see the sun is shining to the mu'min and to the kafir, to the awliya and to the one who commit the worst sin? Did Allah tell the sun not to shine on him? So, Allah is sending you strength. Allah is sending strength to this world. Allah is sending rizq to this world. That these kafir unbelievers saying there's not enough food in this world. Yeah? Stop producing children. World is getting overpopulated. There's not enough food in this world. Yes, because you're burning all the food to maintain the prices. Because you're dumping hundreds and thousands of tons of food into the ocean just so you can make a profit while millions of children, they're starving. So it is not the strength Allah is sending, rizq Allah is sending, mercy Allah is still sending. As a believer, what are you going to ask from Allah? Say. You don't have to be a believer to ask for forgiveness. Maybe instead of asking something from Allah, we should ask Allah what He wants from us. Isn't it? Instead of saying, I want, maybe we should ask Him, what do you want? And what is the reason of our creation? What are we created to be? Can that question now, you can debate about it? You can have an opinion about it? We're created to be what? To be what? Servants. Allah wants us to be servants. And He wants us to be servants following the way of His Abduhu wa Rasuluhu. Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Not any other way of becoming a servant. So now everything is tight there. Now, that sohbah that I gave, and I say don't ask and don't push, that is a different context. That is for things that is not for you. It may be not for you today, maybe it's for you tomorrow. But today, you don't ask and you don't push for it. For instance, some people, they want to know. They enter to tariqat, mashallah, very good. They take bayat and say, now tell me what to do. I'm going to do everything that you say I'm going to do. What you want me to do? They give you a booklet. There are other sheikhs that do that. You come into tariqat, we give you a booklet. The do's and don'ts of tariqat. What is this? Not even kindergarten they have that. You come with a lot of energy, mashallah, very good. But you say, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and you're doing it for a while. Then later, because it's very heavy, you start to drop it. You start to drop it, you start to drop it. It's no good for you. It's not for you. Don't push for it. Or you want to know certain knowledge. You want, but you don't know why you want. What is the reason that you want? Knowledge. Yes, but knowledge of what? For what? I want knowledge of Allah. For what? If you say, I want knowledge of Allah to become an awliya, then we say your ego has overtaken you. You say, I want knowledge of Allah to be His friend, and say your ego is still sitting on your neck. Because so many, they enter the tariqat to have knowledge of Allah to be His friend. No? Isn't that? Do you have maqams? Isn't that? Why you want to have knowledge of Allah? Some they're chasing to know the knowledge of Allah that is between Allah and His Prophet. It's not for you. The Miraj Sharif did not happen one time. It happened so many times. And so much is being spoken. You think whatever happened between Allah and His Prophet is contained in a couple of hadiths, few riwayats, a few stories. What is spoken between two people who love each other is not for the whole world to hear. If you ask that one, what did he say? He said, oh, nothing, we just talk about this and that and this. But you think everything that they talked about is just this and that and this? Allah and His beloved, they are together. There is knowledge between them. The Prophet ﷺ may say, now this is certain special knowledge I'm going to give only to certain special people that can carry this knowledge, and they're going to do something with it. It may be given to them. Then there is knowledge just for everyone to take. It is not too heavy. You know the secret words between Allah and His beloved. What are you going to do about it? Then what? So what? Oh, you know this is being spoken. And so? If you have no permission to know, you are interfering. No, but it is you are interfering. Is Allah speaking to you? Speaking to the Prophet. You are interfering. Who is saying these things these days? That knowledge, all knowledge is not for everyone. Now when people say ilm, knowledge, it is meant, they say knowledge is for everyone. Don't you know even a little knowledge is a dangerous thing? Well, turn upside down. Anyway, this much is enough. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.